You're listening to the Monday Night Community Show with Daniel on BRFM.
We're talking to Geoff and Chris this evening. We're talking all about Hogarth's peregrinations. Firstly, welcome along. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Daniel. Thank you for having us here. Always a pleasure. So thank you.
Now, I was wondering if you could perhaps give us a little bit of introduction about yourselves and also a bit about the drama as well.
Right, well, Chris and I have lived on the island now for in excess of 20 years. And in that time, we have been involved with drama and the arts in general. And we have spent quite a lot of time writing plays, performing in plays, both on the island and elsewhere. So what we're doing with this particular production is a continuation of that interest. And so we're looking at this. William Hogarth is the particular figure that we're interested in. Now, William Hogarth, as we all know, is one of the great British painters, and he interested us for a long time, partly because his paintings and etchings have always caught our imagination, but relatively recently, his involvement with the Isle of Sheppey, which I certainly didn't know about, came to light. He is certainly one of the many celebrity people that have come to the Isle of Sheppey, but I think Chris will tell you a little bit more about our recent involvement with Hogarth.
Yes, well, a few years ago, Nicole Mollett, who I know has frequently been on your programme here, invited a group of artists to reconstruct Hogarth's peregrination. Now, Hogarth's peregrination was a bit of a piss take, really. Many people in those days did the grand tour of Europe, and Hogarth decided with his chums, on the spur of a moment, to do a grand tour of the Medway towns and the Isle of Sheppey. He brought his chums along. They went to many hostelries on the way and imbibed plenty of liquid. They made sketches of all the places that they visited. And so that has been done more recently by Nicole and her friends. And we thought we would like to take the book, because there is an actual little book called Hogarth's Peregrinations. There's a famous copy in the British Library, actually, and to dramatise it and to tell the story. And there's lots of jokes in it, and to explain what a jolly time they had.
So, was it easy to research the history?
In some ways, William Hogarth is the greatest satirist in a golden age of satire, the 18th century. And his big idea was that he would take people's follies and their sillinesses and their extravagances and ridicule them. And by doing so, his aim was to make people change their behaviour so they became more moral, better people. So he marks the rise in English society of the middle classes and the falling away of the aristocracy. He became so popular as a result of his satires. And what he did was he etched a group of satires which told a story. So his pictures told stories that appealed to the thoughtful middle classes, as he was one of the first to call them. So he gained in popularity. He became Britain's foremost painter. He therefore became more popular, and he wrote up this book of the peregrinations when he came to the Isle of Sheppey. And though that book is now quite rare, it's quite difficult to get hold of, I was fortunate enough to actually find myself a copy. And the idea was then to take as far as possible his own words of the description down the Thames, through Rochester, through Chatham, to Queenborough, Sheerness, to take his words, link them together, and then make this drama. So in some ways, the work was all there. It was in Hogarth's own writing. The job that we had was to take out that which we wanted and to link it in a way that was fluent, convincing, and entertaining. So, in a sense, the research was there in front of us.
I was wondering if you could tell us perhaps a bit more about the performance.
Yes, well, it's a two-hander. Geoff plays Hogarth, and I play Mrs. Hogarth, Hogarth's wife. But during the part of the evening, which is the actual peregrination, his wife follows him and sort of spies on him. And the way she does it is by taking the parts of all the people that he meets on his journey. So my function is to play lots of different roles: landladies, landlords, boys, various people that he meets on his journey. So it's been a real challenge, a lovely challenge, I have to say, making different voices for all the different parts and trying to bring it all to life like that.
Hogarth himself, the part I play, he's such a funny character. He has that wry sense of humour that you'd expect, I guess, from a satirist. And his observations on Queenborough, on Sheerness, and the people who live there are so off kilter that they make you laugh. And capturing his voice is a challenge and a good one to have. And of course, also worth mentioning is he's an 18th century writer. So some of the baldy that is in his book is quite near the knuckle for today's audience. And it may be that some of the people that go along to the Heritage Centre at Bluetown, where the play is taking place on Friday, will on occasions raise an eyebrow at some of the antics of Hogarth and his colleagues and friends on their tour.
So how is it being supported, funded?
Well, this particular production is the old-fashioned notion where customers go along and they buy a ticket, and it's funded in that way. So it is a straightforward commercial funding stream for that. As you know, the funding for the arts has become tighter.
Yeah.
Over in recent history, and so a number of groups such as ourselves are looking to put on more plays that are attractive, perhaps, to a wider group of people who are willing to shell out from the money in their pocket for the experience of going to see what's on offer. But I know that my wife is keen to make the point that that's only one form of funding.
Geoff, I suppose that's a good question, actually. Why did you pick the Bluetown Heritage Centre to perform it?
Well, Jenny Herkett from the Bluetown Heritage Centre asked us to consider putting on something that had a local flavour, because that's what she likes to support. And as you know, Jenny has done tremendous work transforming what was the Criterion Music Hall into what is now one of the foremost venues for the arts on the island. So we were very pleased that she asked us to perform Hogarth there. I've got no doubt that Hogarth would have felt very much at home at the Heritage Centre, and would be pleased if he's looking down on us to see his alter ego strutting the stage at the Criterion. It's a nice venue now with the lights and the sound and the visuals. If they've got the seating is good, and Jenny has done a terrific job in bringing it up to date. So yes, we're very much looking forward to performing it at the Heritage Centre.
Now, I was wondering if you could perhaps tell me a little bit more about the costumes.
Yes, well, it's perhaps a little easier to costume this. As I said, it's only a two-hander. I'm more used to working with the Big Fish Arts, where we have a cast of thousands, and we've got an extensive wardrobe to choose from. Most of our costumes are what you might call the lower classes. We don't have a great deal of posh stuff, but one of the challenges with this one has been the fact that my character does play lots and lots of different parts, and I have to do a changing very, very quickly. And the usual method, the usual theatrical method of doing that is by changing hats. And so I will have a whole collection of hats, hopefully in the right order, which I can quickly change in order to change from one character to another. The costumes are from the 1730s, which is a period which we have quite frequently visited before. So I think we're quite well off in that line.
Are you planning to do other things like this?
Well, first of all, what we'd like to do is to play the Hogarth peregrinations in other venues. When Hogarth came down from London to the Isle of Sheppey, he stopped off in a number of places, including Gravesend, Rochester, Chatham, Strood, and so we're exploring venues in those locations that would like to house this Hogarth's peregrinations and invite us to come and do it in those places. So we're looking for more of the current Hogarth play, but I know that Chris has some further plans for something different.
Yes, the Big Fish Arts currently have a production which is all about their naval history on the island. We're doing it on Thursday up at Laysdown to the OAP's club there, which we're very much looking forward to. We previously did it to the Rotary at the golf club, and there again, if there are any groups out there that would like to have a small entertainment, lasts about 20 minutes. It's very lively. There's lots of songs and sea shanties and music in it, and fascinating history about the island, much of which people may have heard before, but I'm sure that there's plenty there to interest all kinds of people.
We often work with the history of the island, but not exclusively. Chris and I have been hired in by the Milton Creek oral project, where they have taken the recordings of the residents of Milton Creek who have recalled their early memories of the area, stretching back to the 1930s in some cases, and we have taken those transcripts of their memories and turned that into an entertainment for the people there that will be performing in October. So we are engaged in other projects that are slightly further afield.
And we'll also be performing in the Promenade Festival, which is coming up in September, which I'm sure the whole island is looking forward to.
Before you go, I was just wondering if you could perhaps go over all those useful contact details, information, when and where it is, and of course anything else you'd like to cover.
Yes. Well, I'm sure that it'll be a very lively, entertaining evening with quite a few laughs. We'll be telling the story of the peregrination and also The Harlot's Progress, which was one of his most successful etching series. All the images will be projected on a large screen, so that not only will you see the wonderful acting, but you will also see Hogarth's very own etchings. It is this Friday at Bluetown Heritage Centre. The doors open at 7. The show begins at 7:30. Tickets are £7.50 with a glass of wine or other drink included in the price. To book, it is 01795 662981. That's the Heritage Centre. Or if you want to ring us about any other information, it is 0777 57 and we hope to see lots of you at Bluetown on Friday night.
Chris and Geoff, I'd like to thank you both very much for coming along, of course, telling our listeners all about Hogarth's peregrinations.
Well, thank you, Daniel, for having us here tonight.
Thank you very much.